Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today we're excited to be checking out Hanabi from R&R Games for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 plus. Will take about 30 minutes to play. And in Hanabi, you are going to be trying to set up an elaborate fireworks explosion, but in actuality, the theme is pretty much non-existent. It's a cooperative game where you are going to have a handful of cards that you cannot see, and other people are going to tell you about those cards. You're going to be trying to put down cards in the middle of the table in numerical order based on the color. And what am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll tell you. Alrighty, then we're going to take a look at what's going to get inside of Hanabi. First and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule booklet. It's about 1 page, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. It's very well done. I'll have you up and running in no time at all. And this is a very simple game, so I can probably teach you how to play right now. So we'll go over the components, then we'll get into the gameplay. Before we get started, I do want to mention that there is an additional color that you can use that will make the game substantially more difficult than some of the variants. I rarely ever play with it because the game itself is hard as it is, but if you really take a liking to this game, it's nice to know that you have that option. So, in this game, what you're going to be trying to doing is you're going to be trying to create a fireworks display by creating numerical sets of numbers. So you want to start with a 1, then place down a 2, and then a 3, 4, and 5. They go all the way up to 5. That's pretty much what you're trying to do. The kicker is the cards that you have are going to be in your hand, but you don't get to look at your hand. So we're just going to say we have a 4-player game going, so we would have 4 cards in our hand to start off. But you don't get to look at your cards. But for the sake of this, you would get to look at them because, well, they're like this. So this would be in your hand. You would not know it was in your hand, but you would get to see everyone else's hands of cards. So they normally put them up to your forehead. You're going to put all these black tokens out, and then you're going to put all these blue tokens out. Now, the black tokens are a way that the game can end. We'll talk more about the black tokens in a little bit, but all you need to know is there's this fuse going down, and if you ever get to this part, boom, explosion and game over, and you tally up how many points you get. These are going to be clue tokens. You are going to use these tokens, discarding them, putting them into the box insert, which you'll be using as part of the game. And when you do that, you'll be able to give someone a clue about their hand, but we'll go over that when we go over the 3, yes, count them, 3 actions in the game, because there's only 3 actions you can take. It's a very simple game at its core. So, everyone's going to have cards in their hand. We'll just go ahead and we'll deal out a couple cards so we can get this up and running. And we'll start with a 4-player game. We got all the tokens out there, and this stack of cards would just go, boom, right there in the center. So on your turn, you are going to have 1 of 3 actions that you can take. The first action you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to give a piece of information to someone. Now, how this works is you are going to be able to tell them either about the numbers that they have, that they are holding, or the colors that they are holding. So at the beginning of the game, it's a good option to tell people about 1s, because 1s are what you need to start laying down if you're going to complete fireworks shows. So, for instance, a great piece of advice, let's just say it's this guy's turn right here. He might look around the table and he might say, hey, that guy over there has 2 1s. He obviously can't say that out loud because there's very, very strict rules about what you can and cannot say. I forget to mention that in the pros and the cons, but that is something that some people are not going to like. That playing it by the by the law of the rule booklet is exceedingly difficult. So this guy's turn, he would say, all right, I'm going to give a clue. And so he would put this into the box up there. And then he would say, you have 2 1s. And then he would physically point to him and say, you have 2 1s. And he would flip those cards, and then this player now has to remember that they have 2 1s in their hand. And you can rearrange cards, so most likely what he would do is he would put these 2 cards right here, and he would try and remember 2 cards, 2 1s, I got 2 1s, I got 2 1s, I got 2 1s, I got 2 1s. And he's trying to pound it into his brain because he might not be able to play those. Now, luckily, it is his turn next. So the obvious choice for him to do is to then do the second action that you'll be able to do, which is to play a card. And when you play a card, you don't get to look at it. You just say, I'm going to play this card down. You just, boom, slap it on the table. And we like to do it when we play very, very, sternly, like, boom, put it on the table. So he would play this 1 down on the table, and boom, shakalaka. That's a great card because now they have started their first firework. And you need to complete 5 different colored fireworks. So now, 1 red is on the table. He would draw up to his 4th card, which once again he would not look at, so this would be not news to him. He would probably put this right here, so remember this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1. And then it would be this player's turn right here. So we've gone over 2 of the 3 actions. The first action, you can give information, but you have to spend a blue token. Second action, you can play a card out of your hand. Now, what would happen, though, if you play a card that is not going to work So, for instance, right now, the only cards that you can play down successfully would be a green one, a yellow one, a blue one, or a white one, or a red two, because every number that you play down has to go in numerical order or start a new firework. So let's just pretend that on accident, maybe this guy next turn decides, you know what, I'm going to go crazy, I'm going to play this card right here. And he slams it down on the table and he says, oh no, that's a red 4. We can't play this red 4 right here because it's not going to work. So what would happen is, this card goes into the discard pile. It's gone from the game forever. We'll talk more about why that's a really bad thing in a minute. We'll just put the discard pile over here. And also, since he played incorrectly, you're going to take this top fuse, boom, throw it in the box. It is no longer going to be active in the game. So you are one step closer to exploding, which is how one of the game end triggers. Once again, he would draw back up to 4 cards. Now, the other important thing to note here about losing this 4 is this is extra bad news, because when you lose cards, when you have to discard cards, you play cards incorrectly, you only have a set number of cards. So you only have 1 5 in the entire deck for each color. So this green 5 right here, that is the only green 5. So if you were going to get the max 25 points and you accidentally discard this or play this out of turn, you cannot score 25 anymore, and your tops is 24. Now luckily, you're also going to get 2 4s, 2 3s, and 2 2s. So this would mean that since we discarded this red 4, this other red 4 over here now is way more important, because you don't want to get rid of this, because if you accidentally get rid of this, then that means that red 5 cannot be played, and now you're down to 23 points that you can maximum score. So as you can see, one false move can just do a domino effect. So there's the 2 action ways we talked about. You can play a card, you can give someone information, and one more thing I want to mention about the information is you have to give complete information. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I might want to let this guy know that he has, let's just do a hypothetical example and say he's got, where's the red 2? Red 2 is what we need for this example. So he's got the red 2 right there. So we put this in his hand, and so if you give this guy information, the information you obviously want to tell him is that he has a red 2, so he will play it. However, you can't just say, you have a red 2. If you wanted to tell him you had a 2, you would have to say, you have 2 2s. And then you would say, you have 2 2s. So that would not be a perfect piece of information. Now, you could get risky if you wanted to, and hopefully he would read between the lines and say, you have a red card. And if he's smart enough and can pick that up deductively, he would know that that's probably a red 2. But that's something that's a little bit of a gamble. So when you give information, you have to give complete information. You have to say, this guy has 2 4s, or 2 yellows, or 2 greens, or something like that. You can't just give partial information. So we talked about playing a card. We talked about spending a card. Last option you can do is you can discard a card. Now, why would you want to discard a card, you say? Because eventually these clue tokens are going to run out. They will run out way quicker than you want them to. But what you can do is you can discard a card and gain a clue token on your turn. So let's just say that for funsies, this guy knows that he has 2 yellow 4s. That somehow this has come to his knowledge that he has 2 yellow 4s. He only needs 1 yellow 4. So he might say, I'm going to discard a card, and he would once again say, this is discarded, slam it down on the table, and then he would get to put, boom, this out of the box back in the middle so more clues can be given. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is going to play. Now, how does the game end? Well, the game ends, of course, if you lay down cards incorrectly 4 times and it explodes, or if you, by some miraculous way, can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 everywhere, the entire thing, which is the perfect score, then you would win the game, obviously. Or if you ever draw the last card from this deck, at which point the game is going to be over. Tallying up points, very, very simple. So let's just say you have 1, 2, 3. Let's just say you got to 3 of every single number. So you have 1, 2, 3 green, 1, 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3 blue, 1, 2, 3 white, all the different colors. You would have 15 points. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Let's say you got red to 4. You would have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus your red 4, so you would then have 16 points. So as many cards you had in your firework display, that's how many points you have. And that, in a nutshell, is how Hanabi's played. Alrighty then, Hanabi from R&R Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go with the pros, let's go with the chaos. First, on the chaos side, the game is not going to be for everybody. This game is actually not going to be for a lot of people because it is very stressful, intense, and people don't like being able to see their cards, and some people are going to hate this game. This is really a love it or hate it game. There's some games where people are like, yeah, it's okay. Normally when I play this with people, they have a definitive opinion. They're like, let's play it again. That was cool, or dear God, I don't ever want to play that again, which means it's somewhat difficult to hit the table. Also, 2 players, 3 players, it's okay, but I like it with 4 and 5. Best 2 or 3 is not bad, but 4 and 5 is best. Also, it comes with additional cards that you can choose to use, but that just, oh my God, don't even try playing with 6 suits. It is dang near impossible, and that's another con some people are not going to like. This game is incredibly difficult. Oh, God. And that's another con some people are going to have, is the fact that this is kind of like a solo game. Not really, but it's kind of like a solo game in the aspect of where you're just trying to beat your high score. Yes, you're trying to get 25, but once you realize that 25 is not going to happen, at that point you're just trying to beat your high score, and some people don't like that. Some people like very definitive wins or losses, and I've had some people who played it and are like, yeah, what, we got a 20, so what? And it's like, yeah. Some people are just not going to like that. Any other cons I have with this game? Not really. Moving on to the pros, Hanabi is... God, it's good. I love this game. I've had this game for quite a long time. I don't know why I waited this long to review it. We played it a couple weeks ago twice, and I just remembered how much I love this game. It's really tense. It's really exciting. It's really... It doesn't feel like any other game, which is what I like about it. I love games like that, where it doesn't feel like anything else I've ever played. Like, you play Hanabi, and you're like, okay, that doesn't feel like anything. Even though the new Bomb Squad, another game from, I think, Tasty Mitchell, feels kind of like this, but on crack. But still, this is good. It's relaxing. It's not intimidating either. I mean, on your turn, you really only have 3 options. So I would almost say that this is gateway game-esque, as long as people can get past the fact that they're not drawing cards and looking at them. But if they get past that, this is a great gateway game, this is a great family game, this plays well on game nights, this is a fun convention game. This game is very versatile, which is something that I always like about games. The artwork is nice on it. I mean, it's minimalistic. I mean, it's just the different colored cards and numbers, but they look pretty. The box is small, compact, portable. You fit this thing in your pocket, which is always a good thing. Rules are simple to learn, simple to teach. Rule sheets done very nicely. I mean, you use the box, which is all. I love when boxes are versatile, where you can actually use the box, because you actually use the box to put the little tokens in, and it works very well. And I have no major cons with this game, aside from it's difficult to get to the table, and some people are going to love/hate it. It has a love-hate relationship. So overall, Hanabi, if you have not tried this out, and you are in the market, if you like tense games, if you like cooperative games, if you're looking for a game that could potentially be a good gate, I feel like this is a great gateway game, because it's just so different from any other game out there that non-gamers would play. Like, this would blow people's mind. I've never played this with someone new to the hobby, but I want to, because I imagine this would just blow their mind. Wait, I can't look at my cards? Is this like Indian poker? Like, no, it's not like Indian poker. This is like Indian poker on speed. By the way, I had 3 cups of coffee. That's why I'm so amped up. So anywho, Hanabi, fantastic, outstanding. As long as you don't mind tension and you don't mind stress and you don't mind cooperative, I highly recommend checking out Hanabi from R&R Games and also from Antoine Bowser, because, man, he's so good at designing games. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below and in the comments below. Let me know. Hanabi. What's it mean? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. Because I don't want to Google it. So yeah, if you know, let me know. Thanks. So